actually a space that is very dear to us. It's big enough for a group exhibition, but also big enough for a solo presentation. For being transformed as it is now, there used to be 3 alimentari shops from the communist time, the kind of grocery stores from communist times. It's actually this terrazzo is very nice, and it's from the 60s, 70s. And it was discovered while refurbishing the entire gallery space, and it's somehow being brought to life. And I can show you the vitrine spaces actually. This is one here. This is actually the bigger one, and we started using it more recently, but the first one that we actually thought of this vitrine project was this one here. This one here, which is, it's very narrow, like I have to go in like this.
The journey with SUPRAINFINIT Gallery started exactly 5 years ago, because this year we turned 5 years of existence. I opened the first space in an old factory, very close from the actual space that we have now. We stayed there for almost 3 years, and then we moved in this new space. And since we moved to this new space, also Cristina, my colleague, joined the team, and we expanded the space with 2 alternative spaces that we have. Is the SALTMINE that we have in the basement, which is a very interesting space, because we have there like 7 tons of salt. Beginning of the 2000, there were some people that wanted to do a business there with recreating a SALTMINE in the basement of a modernist building. But this business never started. We don't know why, but we found the SALTMINE there when we rented the space, so we really wanted to use it.
That space is more for very short temporary exhibitions, generally 3 days up to, let's say, 1 week, and performances. And so far it's been working very great, and people are always fascinated when they come in there, and especially the artists, because it's quite a peculiar space to work with.
And with the vitrine, because the people who know our space, they know that we have like very large vitrines towards the street, that we are using also to do set-specific projects. We commission artists to do projects in the vitrine of the gallery.
We represent 8 artists, for Romanian and for international. And we always try to balance emerging artists with more established artists. And one of the most important elements for us is to commission and produce new works. So with every exhibition we do, we try to support production, and we actually do.
She's working very much with this memory of the architecture of the buildings, because she's also collecting all kinds of elements that are falling down from the building. She started this also in Bucharest when she moved here, and now she has like a very impressive collection of all kinds of bas-reliefs from these old buildings in Bucharest. Also, this exhibition was about her memories, and the memory of this modernist swimming pool that she tried to recreate here in the space.
She did professional swimming lessons, and basically it's a connection to that swimming pool as a memory from her hometown that got destroyed in 2016. The whole concept was to look like a desolate swimming pool that would also function as a social space for encounters between people. We planned a whole series of events, but unfortunately we had to shut the gallery because of the lockdown. However, we managed to do one concert with experimental musician Cristina Vasilescu, and it worked fantastic in the space.
We have like a very important exhibition now with a Lebanese artist, Ziad Antar, that we plan since 1 year. It's an exhibition curated by curator It's a curator based in London, that she proposed us this exhibition, and we are very happy with this collaboration. Ziad is a very important Lebanese artist, a photographer and a filmmaker, and we are showing here 3 series of works, photographies.
The first series is called Dark Matter. Basically it started from these black images that you take the accidents when you make an image and it turns black. The artist was actually triggered by that and said, oh, there should be something behind this blackness. So he took the images and he opened them in Photoshop, so just brought a bit more luminosity, and there are actually in each image there is either some movement, some objects, some form of life in there.
The second series of works, it's a series of works that he did in Saudi Arabia after he met this historic, who had this Lebanese historic, who has this theory that the Bible was not found in Palestine, was found in Saudi Arabia, and Ziad was intrigued by this theory and he wanted to see the place. He had this camera from 1920 and he lost the lens of the camera. So he did some images with this very old camera, 100 years old, without the lens. And in the moment when you do this kind of image with a camera without the lens, you can still see the colors, but you cannot distinguish the shape of the image.
This third series of photographs, it's with cacti. Basically the cacti, at least in the Middle East, they are used
for borders, for natural borders. They were used in the 60s for agriculture.
Yeah, if you have a piece of land and you want to create a fence around it, you would plant cacti. But sometimes it's also used between borders between the countries, so people can't trespass borders, which politically is it's very interesting, and it's still happening. It's actually happening also in the Mediterranean. One of the images here is from Malta. And we also brought a cactus sculpture, and we installed it outside. It's a green area next to the gallery space, so we put it in the public space for the duration of the exhibition.